Northwest winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Lows in the upper 20s. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts up to 20 miles an hour, becoming southwest after midnight. Saturday, mostly sunny. Breezy with highs in the upper 40s. Temperatures falling into the upper 30s in the afternoon. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour, becoming west 15 to 25 miles an hour with gusts up to 50 miles an hour in the afternoon. Saturday night, mostly clear. Lows around 20. Northwest winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 35 miles an hour, diminishing to around 5 miles an hour after midnight. Sunday, clear. Highs in the lower 40s. Washington's birthday, partly cloudy. A 40% chance of rain showers. Highs in the upper 50s. Lows in the mid-40s. Tuesday, showers. Highs in the lower 60s. Lows in the mid-50s. Chance of rain 90%. Wednesday, mostly cloudy. Highs in the upper 60s. Lows in the upper 30s. Thursday, rain likely. Near steady temperature in the lower 40s. Chance of rain 70%. The marine forecast for the coastal waters from Fenwick Island to Chincoteague and out 20 nautical miles. Small craft advisory in effect through Saturday morning. Gale watch in effect from Saturday evening through late Saturday night, through 7 p.m., northwest winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas 6 to 7 feet. Dominant period 9 seconds. Tonight, northwest winds 15 to 20 knots, diminishing to 5 to 10 knots. Seas 5 to 6 feet, subsiding to 3 feet late. Dominant period 9 seconds. Saturday, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming west 20 to 25 knots. Seas 3 to 4 feet, building to 5 feet late. Dominant period 9 seconds. Saturday night, northwest winds 25 to 30 knots with gusts to 40 knots, diminishing to 15 to 20 knots. Seas 5 to 6 feet. Dominant period 4 seconds. Sunday, northwest winds 10 to 15 knots, diminishing to 5 to 10 knots late in the morning, then becoming southwest early in the afternoon, becoming south 10 to 15 knots late. Seas 3 to 4 feet, subsiding to 2 feet in the afternoon. Dominant period 9 seconds. Sunday night, southwest winds 10 to 15.
Alrighty, guys, what is up? I hope you all are having a great day so far. Hope you guys are staying safe here. So, we were unable to make a video for today, and we decided we're just going to go ahead and go live because we actually do have a few things we do need to discuss here with you guys. And I'd also like to get some of your guys' feedback here. So like I said, guys, if you're just now joining us, welcome. Hope you all are having a great day so far. Hope you guys are staying safe here. So we're going to go ahead and get right on into it here right now. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the National Radar View. This is our current radar view across the nation. We are currently dealing with a bit of, snow shower activity across bits of the upper portions here of the Midwest and through bits of the Ohio Valley here, the northern portion here. We are seeing a bit of snowfall across bits of Wisconsin, bits of Minnesota, as well as kind of moving its way towards the northern portion here of Michigan, it looks like, across the region, kind of where we are starting to see some snow shower activity across the region here. This is our current view. So as you might notice, we do have a new stream layout. I worked pretty hard on it yesterday. And so this is what we got going on here now. It should be a little bit better here in regard to things, and hopefully it'll be pretty good for whenever we have our, severe weather coverages and stuff like that. But like I said, guys, I hope you all are having a great day so far. I hope you guys are staying safe here. If you have any questions at all, feel free to throw them down in the chat like I always say, because, honestly, we do actually answer you guys' questions here, because, honestly, like I said, obviously safety is number one concern here in regard to any of these type of events that we're actually seeing here. So guys, we're going to go ahead and switch on over here to the models because I wanted to show you, like I said, there is the possibility that we could see another winter system here down the line. And this is kind of what I wanted to talk about here in today's video, or today's live stream, is because there might be kind of similar sides compared to what we did see with yesterday's storm here. We might actually see the possibility of maybe even, maybe actually a few instances of severe weather might be possible, as well as, honestly, we could see some decent snowfall out of the system here. So, first of all, we just had this one system that did just exit the coast here. We obviously just saw that happen yesterday, delivering some severe weather. You can see the radar view that we looked at here a minute ago. I'll go ahead and pull it up here. There's a little bit of a cluster of storms just starting to kind of move its way off here, the northern portion here of, northeastern portion here of Florida, but they're just now kind of moving their way out of the region here. You can see there was a special marine warning in effect, but over the last few frames, the storms have died out here. But here we go. So moving back on over here to the back to the models here for 1 second. So switching on back here to the model. So like I said, we are currently seeing this one system here exit the country. Now, like I said, we are going to expect another little round here of snow. Another area of low pressure is currently across bits of the region here, as we are currently seeing here. You can even see it on the radar view. If I go ahead and zoom into it here on the upper north, or the basically the top left-hand corner here, you can actually see that that's already going on here. We are already currently seeing some snow that is falling here across the region. Now, like I said, we are expecting another possibility of another pretty large, potentially large, winter weather event that could actually spark here. Really not too far down the line. It's definitely something that has been popping up here in the models. Definitely something that we've been needing to look at for a while. Because, honestly, things could get pretty crazy here. So, we do track down here. All the snow will drive its way down here to the east. Some high pressure kind of building in. Usually with high pressure, it leads to pretty nice conditions. A lot of sunshine, all types of events like that. Now, as we track down even further, watch what happens here. Eddie says, another storm coming. Eddie, yes, there is the possibility of that actually occurring here, and that's what we're looking at here right now. So, this is for the 20th into the 21st here. We start to get a little bit of moisture kind of building in here. By the way, this is your European model. I wanted to go ahead and mention that. We get a little bit of snow that starts falling across these regions here, as well as a little bit of rain activity across bits of the southeast. Now, watch this. As we track down here in time, we get this new area of low pressure that does develop kind of similar to what we did see just here with yesterday's event. I mean, look at this. We get this area of low pressure tracking its way up here to the northeast, maybe delivering some snow across bits of the northern portions here of the Midwest, also across maybe even bits of near the Ohio Valley, kind of areas here with Michigan. Now, here's what happens. We get another kick of moisture that goes on here. This one is for the 24th into the 25th. So we have a small system that might impact the region here, like I was saying here, across the north. Now, as we track down even further, look at this. This is where this other system that could potentially deliver some nasty weather here could actually spark off here. 24th into the 25th, definitely being possible here. We got this really long cold front. You can really see it driving its way down here. Really large cold front. Honestly, with these cold front systems, you can see this actually can enhance some severe weather, unfortunately, which that actually might be a concern. So we have all this moisture drawing its way in here ahead of the cold front, kind of similar to what we did just see here. But this one actually might be a little bit more significant. We'll get to why here in a second. And of course, we get our colder air backing behind the system as that colder air takes place over the cold front. So that is what we are currently seeing here. So this is what we are talking about, guys. So there is the possibility we could see another winter system. Like I said, this will also deliver some heavy snowfall, maybe even some ice across the northeast. That is kind of the concern here. And on the back end of the system, maybe a little bit of snow as well, across the Midwest, as well as the western Ohio Valley. That is definitely going to be a possibility here. Now, as we track down here further, this will continue to track its way up here to the northeast, delivering some possible heavy snowfall across bits of the region as well. High pressure building in once again, leading us to some pretty nice skies. But like I said, there is the possibility, and really it's not too far down the line. I mean, it's definitely enough to be able to cover here. So we are expecting the possibility of, 2 more winter systems. Here we go. So here's the first one. Like I said, impacts bits to the north. A little bit drier air is kind of in place with this system here. Still a very strong area of low pressure. We're talking 990 millibars here. And we're still seeing some snow that will be falling across bits of the central plains into the upper Midwest here. That is going to be a possibility. And then we get all this moisture comes in, maybe delivering a lot of rain across bits of the Ohio Valley, the southeast, as well as maybe the mid-Atlantic and northeast. Looking at seeing a lot of rain here. We really don't need any more rain, considering we just got a lot here just yesterday from the system that we have seen. Pretty crazy. Not gonna lie, pretty crazy. So, like I said, we do track down here even further here. We will actually start to see. The possibility of more snow falling here. Now, there is a bit of differences you will see between these models here. So let's go and see here. Rain says thanks. I could really use some more snow. Yeah, a lot of people are kind of in a bad situation here. We've already been dealing with a lot of snowfall Unfortunately, that is kind of the concern here. But we have been seeing a lot of snowfall as well as a lot of excessive rainfall. We actually did see yesterday here. So there is the possibility this actually could do something here. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to switch on over to my main screen, but first I want to add something. I forgot to add an alert box to our thing here. So let's go ahead and do that here. There we go. So we got an alert box just in case if anything happens here. But like I said, we have the possibility of this happening. Now, when I take a look here at the GFS model, there's a new run just now starting to come out here. This one doesn't go out as far as your European model because, like I said, it's just now starting to render here. Let's go and see. PC says, hello all, another storm coming. I see. There is the possibility. There definitely is the possibility this could be a concern here. So we get this first little system that's currently driving its way across the nation. I mean, you can already take a look here at the radar view right above my head. There is a bit of snowfall that is currently falling here across these regions here. So here's the thing. We track down here in time. We get another band of snow that might impact us in the north, but this is not the storm we're talking about. This one shows, some of that moisture kind of kicking up here. Honestly, it could deliver a little bit of instability. Now, there is a bit of the concern here. Like I said, there is a bit of differences, but this one cuts out here right at the 24. So we'll just have to wait a little bit before the full model kind of renders here. But so, like I said, we'll take a look here back at the European model for the people who are just now joining. So there is both support of both these systems happening. The first one delivering some snow maybe across the north here. Some moisture being kicked up across the southeast in the Tennessee Valley, Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Maybe some more rain for the people. Obviously, that is not something that you want at the moment. But then we get some more moisture. Here's where the big thing starts to kick off here. Look at this. Big old sideways T here. We have a, basically a positive trough going on here. We have basically a tilting trough. So basically we have all of this cold air backing right behind this system here. We have the opposite going on the front side of the system, fueling the system with warm and all that warm air, leading to all this moisture. So we are seeing the possibility of maybe some ice out of the system as well. Seriously, we could see the possibility of some ice, falling out of the system, which ice is a pretty big concern. Honestly, ice could cause some pretty bad impacts here. And like I said, there is a possibility of severe weather as well, because you can see this really sharp cold front going on here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and move on over here to the southeast. We're going to take a look here at the southeastern view at the moment, so we can actually look at the instability side. So this is, like I said, this is your European model. Remember that. This is your European model. And so we're going to take a look here. I guess we can't look at mixed layer cape here, according to your Ecmwf, because I don't have Pivotal Weather Plus anymore, unfortunately. So here's what we can do. We can actually take a look here at the COD meteorology model. Switch on over to my screen view here, so we can actually see what's going on here. I'm going to need to add another alert box here, in case anything does happen. There we go. Okay, so like I said, we are seeing this. PC Gamer says a lot of snow for New York, upstate. There is a possibility. Honestly, there is the possibility we could see some more snow here coming out of the system. Okay, so like I said, we're going to take a look here at the models again. We're going to take a look here at the southeast. This is your GFS model, like I was saying here. This was the last run. Now, if we do track down here, we get this first system that comes through, and then the second one comes right here. So that is the possibility. Jenny, what's up, Jenny? Welcome to the live stream here. I hope you're doing good. So this is what we are seeing here. There is a possibility. Now, let's take a look here at the instability like we were saying. Basically, mixed layer cape here in regard to things. So it looks like we do get a little bit of instability. It starts kind of kicking in here. I mean, look at this. There's some instability going on right here. This is for the 22nd. This is for the 22nd. So there honestly might be enough energy in the atmosphere for thunderstorms to pop off here. I mean, we're talking maybe 600-700 joules per kilogram, kind of similar to the event we saw yesterday in regard to instability alone. But here's the thing. We're going to take a sounding here. I really haven't looked at soundings too much with this one here. Jenny says, I'm so happy to be here with y'all. I do need to pick up my son from the train station. However, I plan to come back. All right, Jenny. We were just planning on going live because I was unable to make a video for today. Because, honestly, these videos take about 2 to 3 hours to make, unfortunately. But it's totally worth it. But like I said, I'm glad to be here with you guys for right now in order to give you guys the latest information here. So like I said, we do have a bit of spin in the atmosphere. Like I said, we have enough instability going on here we also have some hooking photographs. Slight veering wind shear pattern going on here. We got some northeasterlies as well as those east northeasterlies as you go up in elevation. So honestly, that is a possibility. You know, honestly, there is a possibility of some more severe weather breaking out here. Like I said, this is for the later portion here of the 22nd. We have all of our instability right here between this blue dotted line and between our red line. This is basically showing that we have all of our instability right here in this line. So this is where all of our energy is inside the atmosphere. So this is what we are currently seeing. There is a bit of spin possible in the atmosphere going on here, as well as enough, enough instability. You know, honestly, that is definitely a possibility here. We're talking about almost near 800 joules per kilogram. Definitely enough to get the job done here. D-Cape 380. So, you know, honestly, maybe some gusty winds. Maybe up to near severe status being possible. But, you know, yeah, that's kind of what we are seeing here in regard to the sounding. So there is a little bit of instability kicking in here. Now, all this instability will track its way here to the east. Really not lingering as long of a distance as we saw just yesterday. However, you know, there is still the possibility of this actually occurring here. Now, this is for that first system here. And then there's actually support here further down the line. This is the latest model. Let's go ahead and go back here. Let's go back to 12Z. So here we go. So here there is a bit of support, like I say, and here comes the instability here. So this is for the 21st and the 22nd. From the 22nd, actually, like I'm saying here. So there is some support between these two model runs. Between your 12Z GFS and your 18Z GFS, the two different runs, the two latest runs are supporting the possibility of severe weather here across the region. Maybe near 800 joules per kilogram, definitely being possible. Now, if we track down here further, we get some more advection going on here. You know, honestly, maybe some more severe weather might be breaking out here. This is really far down the line, though. But like I said, there is the possibility we could see some more thunderstorms fire off here for the 22nd. This is kind of what we are concerning here at the moment here. So this is something we're going to have to take a look at here for a little bit here. But like I said, guys, if you're just now joining us, welcome. Hope you all are having a great day. I hope you guys enjoy the new stream layout. It took me a little bit to make this yesterday. I think I like it. I think it looks pretty good here. Even the Be Right Back screen. This is our Be Right Back screen. We have the radar view on the right-hand corner as well as the national radar view on the left-hand corner. I think it's pretty cool. And then also the stream ending, kind of the same thing. Stream starting is also the same here. Kind of cool, in my opinion. We also have our thing here which shows like the main radar here across the nation, as well as the one with the local radar. Kind of swaps back and forth. I think it's pretty cool here. So we have all this going on. We did have some storm clusters. This is actually, associated with this system we just saw that impacted the region. This is the last end of the system. This is the last bit of the system that's going on here at the moment. So, but there was a bit of special marine warnings we actually did see in effect here across the region. But they're just now kind of fading out. You can see that polygon that was there. We actually did see a waterspout report from the system here. Right there. This little report you see right here, this is where that was at. So we did actually see that happen. We did see a waterspout that actually did fall down here. I mean, we are still seeing a little bit of cluster of thunderstorms moving its way out of the region here. Like I said, this is kind of the end of the system here. This is kind of the end in regard to things. So that is kind of what we are talking about. So let's go ahead and add a alert box here, because I forgot to add alert boxes for my things here. So if anything does happen, we'll have it coming through here. Like I said, there is a bit of storm activity across the regions here. So now we're going to go ahead and switch on back to the national radar. So like I said, we are currently seeing some snow that is falling across bits of Wisconsin, as well as kind of moving its way into Michigan here at the moment. So this is not that one winter system we're talking about. Like I said, there is two different systems we are monitoring here. And they honestly could potentially deliver some pretty heavy snowfall, maybe even some severe weather here. Like I said, we might see some severe weather for the 22nd across the southeast again being possible, as well as, those two waves of winter, one impacting the north as well as one impacting the northeast. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and move on back here, guys, to the we're going to move on back here to the models here for you guys, because, honestly, I want to go ahead and go over this one more time with you guys, because this is a possible scenario we could actually see here. So, We're going to go ahead and switch right on back here to our European model. So let's go ahead and do that here right now. So switching on over to our models in regard to things. So we do track down here. Like I said, we are currently seeing some snow across the upper northeast, or across the upper portions here of the Ohio Valley. You can actually currently see this ongoing here at the moment. So you can actually see that actually happening here right now. Now, all this will track its way here, essentially to the east, maybe delivering some of that snow shower activity across, but to the northeast. No crazy accumulations is expected out of this, which is obviously some good news, because they really don't need any more precipitation going on here. Then here's kind of this other system we're kind of seeing here. It's kind of a spread out system. There's a lot of dry air in place, according to the models here right now. It does cover a really large area, though. A relatively large area here covering potential winter weather here, as well as a lot of rain, a little bit more rain being possible. Now, this is for the 22nd. This is the one that could deliver some severe weather again across the southeast. So that is definitely a possible scenario here. Maybe delivering some more heavy rain across the Tennessee, Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, as well as the northeast. And this one in particular kind of shows that possibility of some winter weather falling across the extreme northern portion here of Michigan. Or sorry, Maine, not Michigan. Big difference there. And then here comes the big system here. This is for the 24th and the 25th. We get this really strong cold front that really develops here. I mean, we're delivering possibly a lot of rainfall here, some gusty winds being of concern, as well as all of this heavy snow and ice we might actually see with this system here. Definitely being a possibility going on. So this is something we're going to have to continue looking at here over the next few days, because this actually has been the trend here in the models for the last little bit here. And obviously, the further you go down, the more inaccurate these models do tend to get. So that is currently what we are monitoring, guys. So like I said, we'll continue looking at this over the next few days. But guys, we're going to go ahead and go on break mode here for a minute. I just wanted to go ahead and just do a quick little live stream for you guys. We're not going to be on too long. I just wanted to go ahead and go over everything with you guys since I was not able to make a video for today. But a video will be out here for tomorrow. So, I just want to go ahead and give you guys the coverage anyways regarding things. So, guys, we'll be back here in about 5 minutes or so, so hang tight, and we will see you guys here in a moment.
This is a statement from the National Weather Service. Small craft advisory remains in effect until 8 p.m. this evening. Gale warning in effect from noon to 8 p.m. Saturday. For the gale warning, west winds 15 to 25 knots with gusts up to 40 knots expected. For the small craft advisory, northwest winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 25 knots. The areas affected include tidal Potomac River from Key Bridge to Cobb Island, Maryland, Chesapeake Bay north of North Beach, Maryland, Patapsco River including Baltimore Harbor, Chester River to Queenstown, Maryland, and Eastern Bay. The hazardous weather conditions are expected for the gale warning from noon to 8 p.m. Saturday. For the small craft advisory until 8 p.m. this evening. Impacts. Strong winds will cause hazardous waves which could capsize or damage vessels. Mariners should alter plans to avoid these hazardous conditions. Remain in port, seek safe harbor, alter course, and or secure the vessel for severe conditions. And now a special weather statement from your National Weather Service. Issued at 1:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Increased fire danger is expected Saturday afternoon. Gusty winds are expected Saturday afternoon across much of the area. Low relative humidities are forecast during this time as well, with values below 30%. While some areas had rain in the last 24 hours, windy conditions and low humidity on Friday will have dried out fuels across the area. All of these factors combined will result in an elevated risk for the spread of fires Saturday afternoon. Outdoor burning is strongly discouraged during this time. Please refer to your local burn permitting authority on whether you can burn. If you do burn, use extreme caution and ensure fire suppression is readily available. This is a statement from the National Weather Service. For the following county, District of Columbia, and the following counties in Maryland, Anne Arundel, Calvert, Carroll, Central and Southeast Howard, Central and Southeast Montgomery, Charles, Frederick, Northern Baltimore, Northwest Hartford, Northwest Howard, Northwest Montgomery, Prince George's, Southeast Hartford, Southern Baltimore, St. Mary's and Washington, and the following counties in Virginia, Arlington Falls Church and Alexandria, Clark, Eastern Loudoun, Fairfax, Frederick and western Loudoun, and the following counties, in West Virginia, Berkeley and Jefferson. Wind advisory in effect from noon to 7 p.m. Saturday. West winds 15 to 25 miles per hour with gusts up to 50 miles per hour expected. The areas affected include portions of the District of Columbia, Central, North Central, Northeast, Northern and Southern Maryland, Northern and Northwest Virginia, and Panhandle, West Virginia. The hazardous weather conditions are expected from noon to 7 p.m. Saturday. Impacts: gusty winds could blow around unsecured objects. Tree limbs could be blown down and a few power outages may result. Use extra caution when driving, especially if operating a high-profile vehicle. Secure outdoor objects. Public information statement. The Hagerstown NOAA Weather Radio transmitter WXM42 located in Clear Spring, Maryland, broadcasting on a frequency of 162.475 MHz, will be out of service until tomorrow evening, due to a local power outage. We apologize for any inconvenience. The 5 p.m. observation in Washington. At Reagan National Airport, partly cloudy skies. The temperature was 42 degrees Fahrenheit, or 6 degrees Celsius. Dew point 17. Humidity was 36%. Winds were northwest at 15 miles an hour, gusting to 24, and the barometric pressure was 30.04 inches or 1,017.2 millibars, and rising. Now for some observations from the surrounding area. At BWI Airport, partly cloudy skies. Temperature 40. Winds northwest at 10 miles an hour, gusting to 23. At Charlottesville, fair skies. 46. At Dulles Airport, partly cloudy. Temperature 39 degrees. Winds northwest at 15 miles an hour. At Fredericksburg, fair. Temperature 45. At Martinsburg, fair skies. 36. Winds northwest at 13 miles an hour. At Norfolk, fair. Temperature 44 degrees. At Ocean City, fair skies. It was 44 degrees. At Pawtuxet River Naval Air Station, fair. Temperature 45. At Quantico, fair skies. Temperature 44. Winds north at 14 miles an hour. For Richmond, fair skies. It was 53. At Roanoke, fair. Temperature 39 degrees. At Winchester, fair. Temperature 34. At New York, fair skies. 37. At Philadelphia, fair skies. 42. At Raleigh, fair skies. 57. Now for a few observations on the waters. At Washington Channel, the wind was northwest at 10 knots, gusting to 19, and the water temperature was 42 degrees. At Piney Point, the wind was north at 23 knots, gusting to 26. At Thomas Point, the wind was northwest at 17 knots, gusting to 21, and the water temperature was 40 degrees. Here is a look at the weather features that will affect the region over the next several days. In the wake of a frontal passage, blustery conditions will persist into this evening as high pressure builds over the region tonight, resulting in lighter winds and near normal temperatures. A reinforcing cold front will surge across the area Saturday, delivering strong gusty winds and colder temperatures Saturday night. High pressure then returns for the second half of the weekend, promoting dry conditions and near normal temperatures. The high will slide offshore early next week, allowing temperatures to rise above normal for this time of year. However, unsettled conditions are likely for the middle and latter portions of next week as a frontal boundary lingers nearby. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for the Washington metro area and the surrounding KHB listening area. Rest of this afternoon, sunny. Highs in the mid-50s. Northwest winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour.
Alrighty, guys, we are back. Sorry for the wait. I hope you guys are doing all right. So, like I said, we are currently monitoring the possibility of maybe some severe weather here down the line, as well as the possibility of two winter systems that actually could impact some of the country here. So we're going to go ahead and move right on back here, guys, to the models, because like I said, there is the possibility that we actually could see maybe some, unfortunately, maybe some severe weather here. So we're actually going to take a look here back at the COD meteorology models in regard to across the southeast. So like I said, right now it's the 18th. It's currently the 18th, and it's kind of around the evening hours here. 5:34. You can see the bottom time here down below, right below me. So here's the thing. There is the possibility that we actually could see some severe weather breaking out here. Because for the 21st, we actually do have some advection going on. All this warm and moisture-filled air, yet again from the Gulf of Mexico, will be advecting itself here to the north. Maybe delivering some more warmer temperatures across the region. Maybe delivering a little bit more instability in the atmosphere, which might allow for thunderstorms to pop off here. However, it's mostly capped. Now, basically what that means is that there is a level in the atmosphere that is preventing thunderstorms from firing off here. So basically these areas here, you kind of see this little dash lines where it's kind of more dull. This is basically where it is showing that there is basically energy pushing against the thunderstorm from forming here. Now, but as we move down even further here, this is for the 21st, this is for the 22nd. For the later portion here of the 22nd, there is the possibility we will actually start to get maybe some more instability building its way in here. Across bits of Louisiana, Mississippi, bits of Alabama being possible. The heaviest, according to your latest models here, is kind of across bits of Louisiana as well as southwestern Mississippi being a possibility here. I mean, we're talking 600, 700, 800 joules per kilogram going on here. It's definitely enough instability in the atmosphere to allow for, unfortunately, severe weather to break out here. Now, in regard to other factors, like I said, so the heaviest instability is kind of here for forecast hour number 105. So we're going to go ahead and go down here to, essentially, we're going to take a look here at the lower level winds because this plays a major role. Okay, so this is basically, we're taking a look at the winds. This is basically going to tell us if we have the threat for tornadoes or not. So at the lower portions of the atmosphere, we're taking a look here. We actually do have some northeasterlies, northeasterlies going on here. Pretty strong shear we are currently seeing here. So we had, like I said, we had the heaviest instability kind of located around in these areas here. That is kind of where we are seeing the heaviest instability at the moment. So we have those northeasterlies right here at the surface or near the surface here. So if we move up in atmosphere, as we move to the lower levels to the mid levels of the atmosphere, we take a look at that right here, right now, we have a bit of a directional wind change. So essentially, now we have just east northeasterlies, or basically extreme northeasterlies. So there is a bit of change here in wind direction as you go up in the atmosphere. So we start off with northeasterlies and we go further, basically further to the east here. So this will honestly probably cause maybe some spin in the atmosphere. Maybe a little bit enough shear to cause for tornadoes to pop off. Maybe some tornadoes definitely being a concern here. Rain says, I wonder how bad this derecho show is going to be. Well, I don't know. We're not expecting any derechos to occur anytime soon. Once we get into the June, July frame, that is really far out, Rain. You really shouldn't go out that far. But like I said, we are currently seeing the possibility of maybe some spin in the atmosphere taking place here. We'll continue monitoring this over the next little bit here. Now, in also regard to things, we need to take a look here at your dew points. Now, we are currently seeing that advection going on yet again, and this does include those dew points kind of building in here in the 60s, which is definitely going to be supportive of that lower level moisture here for this possibility of another event happening. So that is what we are seeing the possibility. I mean, we are seeing those dew points here, kind of some areas here, yeah, maybe even kind of pushing near 70 dew points, definitely supportive of severe weather here. Enough moisture is at the surface. Basically, you want all of this moisture here. You want all of this moisture that's on the surface here to get into the upper levels of the atmosphere. Now, once it does that, it's going to react with that colder air aloft, basically that colder air as you go up in the atmosphere, and that is going to allow for the instability to kick in, as well as basically the convection to start, allowing for thunderstorms to pop off. And like I said, we did have enough wind shear in the atmosphere to overall allow for thunderstorms. And unfortunately, there is a bit of rotation. There is a bit of wind directional change as you go up in the atmosphere. So that is going to allow for the possibility of maybe some tornadoes, unfortunately, being a concern yet again across these regions here. Let's go and see here. Will Columbus, Ohio see any thunderstorms on the 21st at night? That's a good question here. So Columbus, Ohio, you're probably not going to see any thunderstorms. You're a little bit too high up north for the 21st. We are seeing this mostly for the 22nd here. We are kind of seeing maybe the biggest threat here out of this system it might be impacting the areas here, essentially across the southeast. Areas of Louisiana, we are seeing this instability starting to kind of build in the region here, across the area here. So this is where we are currently seeing that possibility at the moment. So that is what we are seeing. There is the possibility we could see some severe weather here. And like I said, as we go up in the atmosphere, there is a bit of wind directional change, which actually might allow for essentially the possibility of maybe some more, maybe some more tornadoes, unfortunately being a concern here. So we'll continue monitoring this, guys, over the next little bit here, because, honestly, down the line, this actually could possibly do something. So, like I said, we go ahead and take a look here at the wind speeds at the lower levels of the atmosphere, because, like I said, what we're looking for is that rotation factor. And like I said, we have a lot of our we have a lot of our energy here across bits of Louisiana and through bits of Mississippi. This is kind of where we are, expecting. So, what would the threats be if so? So honestly, like I said, we're not really expecting any severe weather that high up north yet. That's kind of once we kind of reach towards spring, that's whenever we're going to start to see, that severe threat kind of shift up north. The way that the atmosphere works here, and from the average seasons, is that it starts off in the southeast because essentially you have all of this moisture here inside of the Gulf of Mexico. This is basically allowing for all the warm air to interact with the cold air we currently do have across the states here because we are in the wintertime. So all this warm air will move its way on land here across the southeast, which does allow for that big change here in regard to things. So that is what we are possibly seeing. So that answers your question. But anyways, guys, I'm glad to see you are here today. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat below. I'll definitely try to get to them for you guys because honestly, safety is the #1 concern here. So guys, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down below. So, what we are currently seeing here, like I said, we have all of our instability in play here, possibly across the region. We have that lower level jet moving its way up here to the northeast. Now, we're talking speeds here of kind of around 30 knots. Now, honestly, this is enough to maybe allow for smaller tornadoes to pop off here, definitely being a possibility. But then as you go up in the atmosphere here towards the mid-levels, we do have a bit of wind directional change here. Now, fortunately, depending on which way you look at it, there is enough wind shear to allow for thunderstorms to pop off, allow for basically that arced updraft to go on to allow for thunderstorms to be possibly long-lived. So that is a possibility here. Now, we are actually seeing, these wind shear values carry kind of in the 50s and 60s here, maybe even some areas here near 70 knots of wind shear, which is definitely enough to allow for organization to go on inside of these storms here. So that is kind of what we are seeing here at the moment. That is what we are currently seeing. So, like I said, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat below. I'll definitely try to get to them for you guys because, like I said, obviously, we are currently monitoring this other possible situation here. We are currently monitoring another possibility that could kick off, unfortunately. So, we'll just continue monitoring this over the next little bit. I will say that there has been a bit of model support here. Over the last little bit here, over the last several models, we have been seeing a bit of support actually going on here at the moment. So, in regard to things, we have enough instability in the atmosphere. Like I said, the heaviest instability is kind of located, instability basically just being your thunderstorm's fuel, across bits of Mississippi and to bits of Louisiana. It's kind of where we are expecting the heaviest instability to kick in here. We also have our wind shear to allow for overall thunderstorms and potentially rotating thunderstorms to kick off here. As well as that surface moisture. There is a possibility we could see those dew points here in the 60s, which is supportive. I mean, upper 50s and 60s is kind of the ballpark zone for, for those dew points. Obviously 60s and 70s, honestly more preferred, but, honestly, there can be severe weather breaking out in 50s and 60s and 70s. So that's what we are seeing here. Let's go and see here. Well, my area, Mississippi, just had sprinkles and high winds, nothing major. We've been having some pretty gusty winds here. I'm actually here from Northern Virginia. We've been dealing with a bit of crazy weather here, unfortunately. We did see a bit of rainfall yesterday. We only got we really didn't get too much yesterday in regard to rainfall, but we did get a bit of gusty winds here. Just hope that you guys are staying safe here. Like I said, guys, if you have any questions, I'm here for you all. I'm here to give you guys all the latest information because, like I said, we are monitoring the possibility of this severe weather that might be a concern here, as well as maybe the possibility of those winter weather. So we have the possibility of severe and winter weather maybe being a concern here down the line. So we'll continue monitoring this over the next little bit. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and switch right on back over we're going to take a look here back at the main models here in regard to things. So we're taking a look here at the Ecmwf. This is your European model first. So we're currently monitoring this little clipper system impacting bits of the north. You can see the radar view above my head currently going on. We do have a bit of snow showers, or snow activity, I should say, currently going on across bits of the region here. This does include bits of Wisconsin, as well as kind of moving its way in towards bits of Michigan here. You can see right here, we are having a bit of snowfall activity going on here at the moment. Now back to the models here. We're going to continue to see this progress its way here basically to the east. Maybe delivering some of that snowfall, maybe some of that snow showers across bits to the northeast. Obviously we're not expecting any crazy accumulations out of this little clipper system, but this is not the system we're monitoring here. So if we track down further, we might have another little system impact bits of the north here, maybe delivering a little bit of snowfall. Some accumulations definitely could be possible here, but also looking at like maybe a lot of rain here across the south, southeast, Tennessee, Ohio Valley, as well as the mid-Atlantic, and maybe even the northeast, maybe seeing some more rain here. Obviously, you guys do not need any more rain at this time because we are currently dealing with a lot of flooding that actually just went on yesterday. We had a lot of flood watches that were in effect and a lot of flood warnings out of it. We do not really need any more rain here across the east. Now, as we do track down here further, this will likely cause maybe some more severe weather across the southeast being possible. We'll continue monitoring this. But here comes the big system here we're talking about. So this is for the 24th. This is about 6 days out, but this has been a trend in the model. So this is something we need to continue monitoring. And yes, this can still change this far out, but there has been a bit of support here over the last few runs. Now, we are probably going to see maybe some heavy snowfall, potentially again across bits of the Midwest into maybe the Ohio Valley here. Maybe a little bit more ice according to this, across bits of the Ohio Valley here. Now, ice, it has some pretty heavy impacts, so this is something we really need to look at here over the next little bit. Now, this will continue to track its way up here to the northeast, delivering maybe some heavy snowfall across the region. We got a really strong cold front going on here. Look at this. Really, really dynamic system here. We have a T, basically a big old T going on. You can see we got that colder air up north, which allows for that transition from rain and just to frozen precipitation across the regions here. And all this might deliver some heavy ice and snow across the northeast, maybe being a concern here for down the line. So this is something we're going to have to continue monitoring. Now, it is still a little bit too early in regard to snowfall accumulations here. It is still a little bit too early. But like I said, this is something we have to continue looking at. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look here at the GFS model. This is your American model. The last one we were looking at was your European model. So these are the two major models whenever it does come to snowfall and all types of weather here. These are the two major models. Now, we are seeing the support here, obviously, of this system that is going on at the moment. We can currently see here the radar view above my head. So like I said, we are currently seeing the possibility of some snow falling across the regions here. Maybe some snow showers across the northeast. Maybe some bands could get potentially heavy here, according to this model here. Now, as we track down further, like I said, here comes the other system, maybe delivering some snow across bits of the upper portions here of the Midwest, as well as maybe even bits of the Ohio Valley, the northern portion, maybe some ice even mixing in, unfortunately being a possibility here. Now, here's where that severe weather comes in, maybe possibly bringing some severe weather across the southeast for the 22nd, some heavy rain as well. And then here we go. Here comes that other system. Now, this one is also supported. So the fact that we are seeing the support from both your European and your American model is showing that there is the fact we could actually see this system actually play out. Now, there is a bit of differences between what these models have to say here. But like I said, the fact that they do show that there is some possibility that these systems might actually occur is something we need to look at here over the next little bit. Both of the models are showing the possibility we actually could see some ice out of the storm, which honestly could be quite impactful. Because as you might know, ice is something you really don't want to see here, because ice can cause all types of impacts. I mean, we're talking closed roads, we're talking down power lines, we're talking all types of hazards, which can cause roadways to be completely unpassable if it does get bad enough. And then both of those models are supporting the possibility of some ice occurring even across the Mid-Atlantic into the Ohio Valley northeast here. Some heavy snow being possible out of the system as well. So we'll continue looking at this. This is about basically 5-6 days out, so we have a bit of time to go, but there is some model support here between GFS and your European model. And if we go back a few runs as well, you will actually notice that there is actually a bit of support as well in regard to the system forming. So confidence is actually going up. Confidence level is actually going up that this storm might exist. Honestly, from a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this about a 6, considering how how frequent these models have been showing the support of the system here over actually the last few days, as well as the overall model agreement between these two models. But there is still some factors that are different between both of these models. So we'll continue looking at this, guys, over the next little bit. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to throw them down in the chat. I'm here for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to definitely throw them down below. Like I said, that is currently what we are seeing here at the moment. Now, this will track its way up here to the northeast. Like I said, maybe delivering some heavy snowfall across the region. It is still a little bit too early to tell in terms of snowfall accumulation because, honestly, in terms of precipitation intensity, it is still kind of a concern. Basically, what we're looking out for is how much moisture can this system wrap into. Obviously, the more moisture it gets, the more potential it could have, as well as the track of the system. If this thing tracks more east, that means the snowfalls are going to move east with it. So it is still a little bit too early in regard to snowfall accumulation. So we'll just continue looking at this over here over the next few days. Now, like I said, guys, have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat below. I am here for every single one of you guys in terms of this because we are actually seeing the possibility that this could actually play off here. Now, like I said, for the people who are just now joining, welcome. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. I hope you guys are staying safe here. So we're going to move on back here to the forecast models across the southeast in regard to your GFS, because like I said, there is the possibility we could see some severe weather here across the southeast. This does include bits of Louisiana and Mississippi yet again. We did just see that system that moved its way through yesterday, and there is yet another potential. We could see maybe some more severe weather across the regions here for tomorrow. So, or sorry, for the for the 22nd. So we'll continue looking at this, guys, over here the next little bit. So first off, we're going to take a look here at the instability. So overall, for thunderstorms to develop, you need instability. You need some, basically some fuel in the atmosphere. You need some energy to get things kicking off here. We measure this in mixed layer CAPE here. So basically, this is just accumulating all the energy levels across the whole entire atmosphere. Now, we are seeing this advection going on because we have that snow system that might, deliver some snow here across the north. This will actually cause that northerly motion to come here, basically from the Gulf of Mexico into the states here, delivering that warm air here, interacting with that once cold air we currently do have here inside the southeast, inside the regions here, across the states. Now, we start to see a lot of the instability starting to kind of build in here. Across bits of eastern Texas and through bits of Louisiana, Mississippi, bits of Alabama as well. Maybe seeing some instability start to kick in here. We're talking about 800 joules per kilogram, which definitely is enough instability in the atmosphere to allow for thunderstorms to pop off. Unfortunately, then they'll kind of fizzle out here for the early morning hours here on the 23rd because as the sun goes down, obviously less heat is there, which does allow for things to kind of fizzle off here. So we are expecting the biggest threat to occur here kind of for the evening hours here on the 22nd. The severe weather is kind of possibly kick off here. So we have enough instability in the atmosphere. So what we're going to do, we're on forecast hour 105. So we'll remember that. We'll go ahead and overlay some things. We're going to go ahead and draw where all of our instability is located here. Now, obviously, this is not going to be approximate to whenever the event does come, but the overall idea of where this instability is going to be will still be here, most likely. So if we take a look here at the lower portions of the atmosphere, so now we're taking a look here for rotation in the atmosphere. So we're taking a look here at the lower levels. This is your lower level wind shear, or your low level wind shear here. So we're taking a look here. We have some northeasterlies going on. So basically we have these winds that are ushering its way up here to the northeast here at the moment, delivering some of that warm air, driving its way in the system, fueling it overall. Now watch this. As we go towards, we're actually here at the lower levels, as we go to the mid-levels of the atmosphere, things really start to kind of change here. We start to get that wind direction starting to shift a little bit more to the east here. So then we actually get some northeasterlies. Basically, some east-northeasterlies going on here. So basically, what we are seeing is that as you go up in the atmosphere, we are seeing the wind direction change to the northeast, which might allow for some spin to kick off in the atmosphere, which ultimately, with those thunderstorms firing off here, like I said, we currently kind of showed the area here where all the instability is in. Right now, we have that wind shear above it, which actually might show the possibility we actually could see, honestly, maybe some severe weather with the potential of, unfortunately, maybe some weak tornadoes being a concern as well here. PC Gamer, welcome back. Hope you're doing good here. So we are currently monitoring that possibility here. Like I said, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat below. I'll definitely be here for you guys until the end here, because, you know, honestly, there is a bit of craziness that obviously we had the system that did impact yesterday, but we are actually seeing the possibility of this other system that actually could come down here down the line. You know, these next two systems, severe weather on the 22nd across the southeast, as well as that winter weather that could impact on the 24th and the 25th. Here across bits of the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, as well as bits of the Northeast. Something we really need to continue looking at here, guys, over the next few days. So, like I said, we have our instability in play. We have all of that instability, all that energy that is kind of in play here, as well as that shear to allow for thunderstorms to pop off, as well as enough shear that is actually changing to maybe allow for some tornadoes, unfortunately, to pop off. Now, there is one more key factor here that we do need to look at, and this is your moisture supply here on the surface. Now, we measure this here in your dew point temperatures. Now, we are currently looking for those dew points here in the 60s, and over for the same hours here, we are still seeing that. We are just seeing that. All across the areas here, we do have the instability. We are actually seeing all those dew points here in the 60s. So all the areas here inside of the instability zone, basically this is showing, as of now, these are the areas here where we could see some severe weather pop off here. So across the region, we have our moisture in the 60s, definitely kind of in that Goldilocks zone here, kind of mid to upper 60s. Definitely some good news, for at least for thunderstorms to pop off here. Might not be some good news for the people down the line. We have the energy. We have our instability in the atmosphere, enough to cause for thunderstorms to fire off, and enough wind shear to help combat that and help allow for that those thunderstorms to really kind of get their act together and kind of hold together. So there is a possibility we could actually see that happen. So instability, moisture, and shear, basically wind shear across a lot of the atmosphere. There is a threat for severe weather here for the 22nd. Now, this is still 4 days out. The Storm Prediction Center only goes out here to the day 3 outlook here. But they do have a further risk, but they did not issue anything yet. But we'll likely see something change here for tonight across the region. So we're going to go ahead and move on over here to my screen view. So for today, we do have a small chance. We'll actually go ahead and zoom on into this. We can see this a little bit better. For today, we do have a small chance of seeing some thunderstorms here, basically across bits of the northern portion here of Florida. We are actually currently already seeing that. If we take a look here back at the models, or sorry, back at the radar view, we are currently seeing a little bit of thunderstorm activity currently going on here at the moment. Basically just east of St. Augustine, currently seeing a bit of all those rain, or basically all of that thunderstorm activity driving its way through the region here at the moment. Now, if we move back here to our screen view, we have a chance of maybe seeing some thunderstorms, but they're not expected to be severe. So we do not have a severe threat here for today. Now, for tomorrow, we move into tomorrow's outlook. Now, we're not expecting any thunderstorms to occur across the U.S. That is definitely some good news. We don't want any thunderstorms to occur, because a lot of us really don't need any more rain. We've been dealing with a lot of rain, especially across the eastern coast. We've been dealing with a lot of rain, especially yesterday. That really kind of threw everything over. And then we have our day 3 outlook here. This is for, this is for Sunday. So this is not for today or tomorrow. This is for Sunday, day after tomorrow. So we are seeing the possibility of maybe some more generalized thunderstorms across bits of eastern Texas, bits of southeastern Oklahoma, bits of southern portion of Arkansas, Mississippi, as well as western Alabama, and bits of Louisiana. I don't know if I said that all right. But there is a possibility we could see maybe some thunderstorms popping off here. But like I said, they're not expected to be severe. But that is kind of what we are seeing here. And then, of course, we do move into our day 4 outlook here. This is kind of where we are expecting that possibility of severe weather as this cold front does progress its way down here, basically to the east. So do not be surprised if for Monday we might see some severe weather across the southeast. Now, this says predictability too low. There is still a bit of things that needs to be ironed out here. But, honestly, over the last few model runs, this has definitely been a concern. And I do expect this to change here tonight. We'll probably get a marginal risk maybe being issued here for tonight for day 3 outlook here, possibly down the line. So we'll continue looking at that. But like I said, there is a possibility of some more severe weather across bits of the regions here. Kind of right here, roughly where I did draw my circle. So this does include bits of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, as well as bits of Alabama. Yet again, maybe being in the line here of more severe weather being possible. So, like I said, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat below. I'll definitely try to get to them for you guys. Because, like I said, obviously, Safety is the number one concern here. If you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. That'll be greatly appreciated. You guys are the best. I really, really do appreciate all your support. So, guys, once again, thank you all so much for all your support. You guys are the best here. So, now we're going to go over here. We're going to take a look here at the National Weather Service forecast. In regard to things, we have a few things we're going to want to discuss here that is going on here. So, first off, we're taking a look here at the temperatures for today. We're actually seeing a lot of warm temperatures here. We are currently seeing a lot of warm temperatures across bits of the southeast and through bits of the mid-Atlantic here. The eastern portion of the mid-Atlantic. These are your max expected temperatures here for today. We're talking 80s across bits of Florida. I mean, when isn't this happening? We're seeing a lot of warm air going on here across the region. A little bit of a warm day. A little bit of a warm day going on across bits of the southern portion of the plains into the central plains, even kind of near bits of the western Midwest here. We are seeing some pretty warm temperatures here. I mean, we're talking 50s, driving its way all the way up here. Some warm conditions across the western coast as well. We're talking 70s. PC says, great weather forecast today. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate that. But we are still seeing that freezing line here. Basically, where all that cold air is backing behind the system here. We are seeing that freezing line kind of right here across bits of the northeast and through bits of the mid-Atlantic, Ohio Valley, bits of the Midwest as well as upper Midwest and northern plains. This is right here where we are seeing that freezing line. So all the areas inside of this area here, this is kind of where we are seeing our freezing temperatures here. This is your max expected temperatures for today. Now for tonight, it is going to probably be a pretty cold one here. Yeah, it is, definitely. We're going to see this freezing point really drive its way down south here. This cold front is going to be exited out of the country here, and that cold air is going to kind of take place here. We're seeing our freezing point here really far down south. I mean, we're seeing it all the way across bits of the southern plains into the southeast, all of the interior portion here. I mean, literally, I'd say at least 85% of the states here inside of that freezing territory. And believe it or not, there is some more ground here, kind of across these regions here, where we are seeing the possibility of maybe some of those temperatures here getting below zero here in the negatives being possible here for tonight. So that is kind of what we are expecting here as of now. Now, in regard to rain across bits of the next 2 days here, we are expecting a bit of rain to impact bits of the northern country here, pretty much just across a lot of the north here. And this will include some snow for some people here, maybe some more of that rain across bits of northern portion here of Florida, as we are still currently seeing some of those thunderstorms drive its way through the region here at the moment. But this is kind of what we are talking about here right now. Now, in regard to snowfall, like I said, there is a possibility we could see some snowfall. This was updated about 5 hours ago, so across the light blue shaded areas here, you are kind of expecting maybe 1 to 3 inches of snow being a concern. 3 to 5 across the dark blue, as well as maybe some instances kind of here towards the west central portion here of New York, maybe getting up to 6 to 10 inches. Some locally amounts being up to that possible. This is your National Weather Service forecast. So this is an official forecast. We will have some more snow across those upper elevations as well, as we do have a bit of moisture in place across the region. And honestly, some of these accumulations could get quite high, but, you know, honestly, those upper elevations are quite used to seeing that across the area here. But, you know, honestly, basically across the bottom 2/3, we are seeing pretty much no snow expected here over the next 2 days. So that is what we are seeing. Now, in terms of ice, we do not have any ice threat, which is definitely some good news. You do not want to see any ice occurring. In terms of gusty winds, like I said, we are currently seeing some pretty crazy winds here. This system is really driving up that we just saw move its way through the region. We are seeing a lot of gusty winds. We do have some warnings and advisories. We'll get to those more here in 1 second. We are seeing a lot of that gusty winds going on here across bits of Maryland, even Northern Virginia where I'm at. We've been seeing some pretty gusty winds going on here. So bits of Maryland, bits of Pennsylvania, bits of New Jersey, as well as bits of Delaware. You know, honestly, we are currently seeing a bit of gusty winds that is going on. The same thing for the upper portions here of the elevations of the Rockies and bits of the northern plains and through bits of the Midwest. There is a bit of windy conditions that is actually currently going on here at the moment across these locations. We're seeing the possibility of maybe over 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts across these locations. Now, let's go ahead and go over the National Weather Service hazards. And as you can see, there is a lot of crazy stuff going on here at the moment. We actually are seeing kind of a lot of mixture of results, but a lot of them are just here across the northern portion of the states. Now, these areas here, you do see This kind of tan shaded color here, this does include a lot of portions here of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast, as well as bits of the Northern Plains and through bits of the Midwest here, even some of the Ohio Valley. These are these are wind advisories, basically showing we are expecting some gusty winds to occur, definitely being a possibility. Now these lime green shaded areas here, you do see, these are some flood warnings. These are some flood warnings that are in effect here, basically showing that we are expecting some ongoing flooding or imminent flooding to occur here shortly. With all that excessive rainfall we actually did see yesterday, we're seeing a lot of southern Ohio here inside those flood warnings here. We are expecting, or those flash flood warnings, we are expecting a lot of flooding to go on here. Same thing for the western side of New York. A lot of potential flooding going on here and a lot of scattered flooding across bits of the Tennessee Valley and 2 bits of the Midwest and Ohio Valley here. We are seeing a lot of potential flooding here. We still have some flood watches in effect across bits of northeastern Pennsylvania, as well as bits of south central portions here of New York. Across the region, we are still seeing that flood watch, basically showing that conditions, because we are currently seeing a little bit of rain, basically there is still the possibility we actually could see some more of those flood warnings be issued for those regions there. So that is what we are talking about. So like I said, the wind advisories across the TAM, there's flood warnings across the lime green shade area here, as well as the flood watches across the dark green. Now you might be wondering, what are these purple areas here? These are winter weather advisories, showing that we are expecting the possibility of some impacts of winter weather to occur. Not necessarily strong enough to be issued for those winter storm warnings that you do see, but we do have a few of those across bits of Michigan. Across the upper state of Michigan here, we do have some winter storm warnings showing that we are expecting some heavy impacts of winter weather to occur. And now look at this. Across this orange shaded color here, this is where things are getting pretty crazy. These are our blizzard warnings. This is where we are expecting some blizzard conditions to occur across the eastern portion here of North Dakota, as well as bits of western or northwestern Minnesota here, seeing the potential of maybe some blizzard conditions ongoing here at the moment. As well as we do have some winter storm watches in effect, kind of for this blue shaded color here. You do see this does include bits of those upper elevations of the Rockies, kind of across bits of Washington State and through bits of northern Oregon. Some of those winter storm watches are in effect, basically showing that down the line we could see some significant impacts of winter weather. So just stay tuned, because some of those might be needed to transition here into winter storm warnings. This does include a lot of the state here of Montana, as well as, like I said, across those upper elevations of Oregon, as well as Washington State. We do have that one winter storm warning in effect across bits of the Washington State here as well, kind of across this pink area here. So this is currently what we are seeing here in regard to our hazards. Now, we do have a bit of high wind warnings in effect across the central portion here of North Dakota, as well as bits of Montana as well. This is mostly for those upper elevations here. Basically, we are expecting some heavy winds to occur. We are expecting some potentially damaging winds to occur across the regions here, as well as a high wind watch across the southeastern side here of Wyoming, currently going on here at the moment. Now, other than that, guys, honestly, that is what we are talking about. So this is for the northern quarter of the country. Across a lot of the states here, we're actually relatively nice for the most part. No imminent hazards across a lot of the south, but across the north is kind of where we have all of our eyes here at the moment. Kind of where we are paying attention to everything right now. Like I said, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat below. I'm here for you guys. Like I said, if you have any questions, I will be here for you all. If you are new to the channel, guys, consider hitting that subscribe button. If you guys do want to support the channel, we do have our donation link in the description, as well as the chat. It'd be greatly appreciated. It will help us out, get some better equipment, basically some better software to give you guys overall better coverages. Because obviously, your all safety is the #1 concern here. Everything is greatly appreciated. So, this is our current situation. This is currently what we are monitoring here, here at the moment. So, that is pretty much all we're talking about here. We do have our drought monitor here, basically showing the areas here in drought. Across a lot of the areas here in the white, we are not in a drought, because we did see a lot of rainfall that just fell across those regions here. We have some kind of mild droughts going on here across the yellow. But once you start to kind of reach this tan color, this is where things start to get a little bit more crazy. Moderate droughts, severe droughts that kind of across this orange area here, extreme droughts, as well as exponential droughts across this kind of like this blood red shade color here. Kind of where we are seeing this. But guys, I think that is going to wrap up the live stream for today. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update in regard to the current situation we are dealing with, because I was unable to record a video for today. If you have any questions, right now is the time to answer or ask them, because I do have them here in the chat. So if you guys have any questions, I will be here for you guys. But honestly, that is kind of what we are taking a look here at the moment. So this is our current view. We are currently seeing some of those thunderstorms track its way off here across bits of Florida at the moment, as well as that current snow we are seeing across the north. But other than that, guys, honestly, things are looking relatively clear for the most part. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you guys did, make sure you leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. I really do appreciate all of your support here for today, as well as always. So guys, thank you all so much for your support here. So we're gonna go ahead and switch on over the scene here to the ending, the ending scene here. Like I said, if you have any questions, now is the time to answer them. If you guys do want to support the channel, before we go ahead and end the live stream, we do have our donation link in the description as well as in the chat below. All donations will be greatly appreciated, and they will go towards better forecasts and better coverages with better equipment. But guys, like I said, have any questions? Right now is the time to answer them. I'll be ending this live stream here in about 1 minute or so. So guys, it was great seeing you all here for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night here. And like I said, if you guys have any more further questions while we are off stream, feel free to contact me on Twitter. We do have our Twitter here in the description. All of our social media is in the description, as well as our Discord channel. You guys can join our Discord. I'm also active on there too. So if you do want to message us, let us know about anything or have any questions. I'm here for you guys 100% of the way here. But like I said, guys, thank you all so much for joining tonight. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night here, and I'll catch you guys here in the next one.